5 years, I have been working with the Oak Creek Girls. Now that sounds like an awesome bluegrass band, but actually it's girls and young women ages 12 to 24 who are incarcerated at the Oak Creek Youth Facility in Albany, Oregon, which is actually a pretty full-scale prison. These are girls who are lost in the woods. They're disoriented and have no sense of where they have been, where they actually are, who at their core and their values, and what their options are for the future. What I do and my group does, we are the Brave Life Initiative, and we take Joseph Campbell's work, The Hero's Journey, and we pair it with stories and storytelling and art projects. And with each step of the project, each step of the journey, we have the girls do a piece of art. Not crafts, but actually come up with some art. And I will be showing you some of their art as we go along today. What this does is it allows them, with the hero's journey, to associate with the hero, and here I'm using hero like I would use doctor, to mean both the shero and the hero. And they can associate with the hero and then come in and translate it into their own lives in a very safe way. And storytelling is a really wonderful way to drop them deep. Oops, hair trigger. Okay, we'll get this. Because you say, once upon a time, and time slows down, your breathing deepens and quiets, the veil lifts, and you find yourself right next to the hero as she goes about her ordinary, normal life until something happens. The call. The first step in the hero's journey. Something happens. The phone rings. There's a knock at the door. You get a text message. You open a letter. And all of a sudden, everything about the life you knew has changed. There's a divorce, a death. You lose your job. You get accepted to your favorite number one choice college. You get rejected from your number one favorite choice college. You wake up from a dream and know that you have to go to Machu Picchu. And the call has arrived. But sometimes you refuse the call, like Frodo in The Lord of the Rings when Gandalf came to the door. But it's a really bad idea to refuse the call, especially if it's a true call. For the girls at Oak Creek, it's often their arrest, and then life has changed. And then you're at the threshold, that demarcation line between what is known and the great mystery, the beyond, the huge beyond that is a mystery. And so you approach that, and you'll see in this piece of artwork that one of the girls at Oak Creek did. She did it of the portal, and she created the guardians at the gate, because sometimes you have to pass through those in order to prove yourself, prove your resourcefulness and your readiness to actually go on this journey. Now, sometimes we go kicking and screaming up to the threshold door. We don't want to go. Sometimes we can't pack our bags fast enough and get out the door. And then we're through the threshold. And smack into the belly of the whale. For we can't go back because that's all changed, and we can't go forward because we don't know how. We're in a place where we're slightly paralyzed. We have no map for this new place, this new territory that we're not familiar with. And so it's a time to sort of ground, to make peace with the past, to figure out who you are and where you stand right now, and also to assess the future and the possibilities. This piece of work is a 3-foot mandala, and you'll see in the center, she has written the things that she is making peace with, the monsters, the demons, the addictions from her past. And the outer circle is she's assessing what the possibilities are that she wants to bring into her future. And then you're ready. You've gotten enough courage and enough resourcefulness, and you step out onto the road. And I call it the road of life. Joseph Campbell calls it the road of trials. For here is where you're tested to see what you're about. What are your core values? Where do you feel worthy? Where do you not feel worthy? And what makes you tick? So here you see the road and all kinds of little things that we're not sure about because it is a mysterious land we're going into. It takes some courage to step out there. So once you've stepped out, you have to find your allies, very important. Your mentors, your guides, your helpers, they're going to advise you and support you along the way on this road. These are ally masks that the girls have made. If you come to my workshop, we'll be making an ally mask, and I have ally mask kits for those of you who would like to take them home, and I'll have them for sale out front during the break. So sometimes you can get your allies from your life before, but you have to be careful. Because the person you are now, you're reassessing who you are, re-envisioning your future, you're restoring your life. And you have to make sure the person who is going to bear witness to you can let you have your new story. Sometimes people just appear along the side of the road just in the nick of the time when you need them. Because the next step is obstacles. Part of life, part of the journey, part of the road of trials, for sure. You're lost in the woods. Your feet are bogged down in the sulfurous swamp. There's the mountain that has to be climbed. Wild beasts' eyes are staring at you from the side of the path. There's a dragon blocking your way. And there's also something else that happens, especially for the girls in prison. The inner voices start coming and say, you're not enough to be on this road. You're not smart enough, courageous enough, thin enough, pretty enough, worthy enough, blank enough to do this. And there is the temptation to quit. Another really bad idea, because you have to finish this journey. You have to meet these obstacles and figure out what you're made out of. It's just part of the path, because you have to find and go to the next step, which is the gift. You're looking for and finding something that you need. In folk tales and myths, it's the bag of gold, the handsome prince, that beautiful pearl that shimmers like the moon. And yet these are all metaphors. Metaphors for something that we need that's going to transport us, give us the wisdom and the knowledge to take us from one stage of life to another through that rite of passage, which the hero's journey is all about. Now, sometimes we take the gift and we don't want to do anything with it. And we want to take that handsome prince off onto that mountaintop and take that shining pearl with them. And we want to embrace these things for our own and not share them. But that doesn't work either, because the gift needs to be shared. Sometimes you don't even know what this gift is about, and you have to tuck it away and let it ripen. And then you figure out later how and what you do with it. Here we have a really exceptional artist who had never done any art before, and this was her interpretation of the gift. So now you have the gift, your hero. She takes it. Now, what does she do? Well, you have to return. You can't go up to the mountainside. You've got to bring it back. You've got to integrate that knowledge, that wisdom, who you are at your core, so that you can feel worthy and live a wholehearted life. But there's something else you have to do with it for it to be complete, and the journey to be complete is you have to bring it back to wherever your home is or wherever your home is going to be, and you give it to the community. And you give them that unique gift. Now, it can be a tricky thing because the specter of not returning is there, like Frodo, taking his gift and not throwing it into the fires of Mordor and keeping that from himself. But that is surely a recipe for disaster. So the next step, you return home, and now you're master of both worlds because you have become conscious that you are the hero of your own story, and you've gained the skills and the resilience and the courage and the competence to go out into the world. And then you have the best gift of all, and that's the freedom to live the unique life that you were born to live, that nobody else can live like you can, and who can bring that gift that nobody else can bring into the world. And finally, 3 apples fell from the tree, 1 for the teller, 1 for the listener, and 1 for the one who is heard. Thank you.